What's going on, guys? I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but this is going to be a little discussion on martial arts, including Filipino martial arts, but this one specifically all over the place. And the topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about is, do you guys cross-train? And by cross-training, I'm not talking about do you lift weights and then you train martial arts. I'm talking about, do you train in other arts? And there's a couple of ways we can go about this. I know for personal experience that people can train in different arts because they just like that art, but they also like another art. They have no means of intertwining the two, but they want to be able to experience more than one, which is perfectly fine. On the other hand, myself included, I like to train in multiple arts so I can learn the art as a whole but also integrate it into what I do. Filipino martial arts is one with me. I can't separate the two. It's been my upbringing. It's my life in martial arts. That's how it all started. And only until recently have I been able to cross-train, not just in other systems, but also in other arts, such as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Here's why I think cross-training is so important. Number one, it gives you perspective. And I think perspective is huge when it comes to training or doing anything in general. You can never think one art has all the answers, and you can appreciate it and give it all its glory that's deserved, but you have to understand that there are reasons why there are different martial arts. For some purpose, may not be the same purpose, but each martial arts is beautiful, has value, and so when you broaden your perspective, when you see different arts and what they offer, who knows, you might end up liking something about it that you can take with you or that you can appreciate on its own. And so there's a lot of division in Filipino martial arts as it is, let alone introducing other arts into it. And I know specifically on this channel, some people only are here for Filipino martial arts. And as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has made its way into Union Martial Arts, the academy where I teach, a lot of people are kind of anti-BJJ. And this is my take on cross-training because a lot of Filipino martial arts is taught through flow drills, through sequences, and which is good, and there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is taught through flows and sequences, but the application is a little different, right? When you're grappling and when you're wrestling, it's always consistent, it's a constant connection. Meanwhile, in Filipino martial arts, it's always about separating yourself, creating distance, being able to use your weapon and not get it into the nitty-gritty. But I feel like it always does. And so just between the two, which is ironically the most compatible and complementary arts that I've come across, between the two, it helps you find the middle ground. Maybe that's the grittiness you needed to apply your Filipino martial arts a little better. Or maybe the appreciation for the weapon was what you needed to understand more positions when you are grappling on the ground. So cross-training for me is a method of improving myself. It's a method of incorporating new techniques, refined ways to look at things. And when you see all sides, you're able to teach all sides, tell the world what you love, but also show where there are weaknesses and where there are strengths. It's a little slice of humble pie if you ask me. Every martial arts has a weakness spot, a weak area. Something about it is not perfect, and if that was the case, we would all be training the same martial art. But that's not the case. So the whole thing of MMA, even MMA is an art of its own, but the whole idea of mixing martial arts is the idea of taking your human abilities, the capacity as a martial artist, to integrate as many things as necessary for you. And this is a big thing that I always talk about with all my students, with all my fellow martial artists. It's not your system, it's not your art, it's not even your school. It's you understanding who you are, what you like, and being able to be honest with yourself to also know where the weaknesses are and what you don't like. Why don't you like that? Is it because you're not good at it? Is it because you don't like the area? And in order to be as well-rounded as possible, you need to be accepting of the good and the bad, which is why cross-training is so effective, because when you come across certain arts, when you come across certain people in certain gyms, it brings out a whole nother side that you were never experienced of. And I think the last thing every martial artist wants is to, sit on this high throne and feel like they're on top of the world only because they are the speck of martial artists that have actually experienced all sides of martial arts. And that's a very, very difficult thing to say. There's so much out there. There's so many good things out there. So Filipino martial arts as itself is a combination of other arts. There's so many different systems. Escrido is a big one, right? Where they incorporate other arts into the Filipino martial arts base. And even Espada y Daga wasn't Filipino martial arts to begin with. It came from the Spanish. So our origin already speaks for itself, that as martial artists, as a Filipino martial artist even, the idea is that the weapon is your mentality, and the weapon is your ability to comprehend techniques and different areas of combat, whether it comes from Filipino martial arts, whether it comes from Japanese arts, whether it comes from Chinese arts, European arts, whatever. That is the true weapon, because nothing will ever stay the same. So what do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know, what arts do you guys cross-train in? Do you even support it? Are you anti-cross-training? Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys want this to turn more into a podcast, if you guys still enjoy these episodes, please let me know as well. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Smash that thumbs up button if you do cross-train and you enjoy these videos. And until next time, guys, catch you guys then.